Kelly, thanks so much for taking the time to do just a little bit of this today with me. I've got just a few general questions. We can talk a little bit about the pool and everything else, but I think we'd probably start with the experience that you had from our company when we first met. And I think it was actually Beth
Yep.
that we engaged with first, but nonetheless, how did you find that experience to be from the initial stage?
Well, just to back up, I knew nothing about owning a pool. I assumed it was going to be really expensive, and I was a bit scared of all the unknowns. And so when we did reach out to you, we got such good education on, okay, not every pool is built the same. You really took the time to explain to us the differences between, vinyl, gunite, fiberglass. You actually didn't come on strong in terms of selling. You just gave us an education, and that was really, really helpful. And fiberglass, I think it's the best option. Now that I've talked to other people as well, it's like, no, fiberglass is great if you can do that. But you helped us get to that conclusion. And then there were some great options. You had some advice for us, but let us take our time in coming around to this, your suggestion. It was just a great experience. We met during kind of the middle of the pandemic. There were a lot of supply chain issues, and you were so upfront and honest about lead times and everything else. We dealt with so many people selling us a lot of things to build a house during that time, and I can't say the same thing about anyone else. This was a really great experience.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we're always happy to hear that, and of course we have to work very hard at that. And we're not a high pressure sales company, right? I've just never been that way. My feeling is you give people the information that they need for them to essentially make their own decisions and come to their own conclusions, and we'll help you along in that process. So that's the way I've always tried to work. Now, I know that you weren't here during the construction of the pool, but from everything you've gleaned from Wright Builders and everybody else associated with the project, because you were on the West Coast, were you pretty comfortable, knowing that you were in good hands? Were you up at night worrying? You weren't there to see it. How was that experience?
I was worried about my windows and other things that you had no control over. We really had no worries about the pool. We didn't have a single surprise in terms of, we forgot this big expense or any of that stuff. It was very straightforward there. I think our landscapers were also involved, working through the builders, but also, getting this nice setup out here. And I'm not really aware of any hitches that came from the Poolside.
Right. Well, that's great to hear. And so I remember speaking to both of you, I guess, about the pool. And one of the colors amongst the 7 colors that we have available is this graphite gray that I think I probably, knowing myself, probably pushed you a little bit towards.
Yes.
Because I love this color.
It's great.
And what do you think of the color? Because you bought it based on my recommendations and I suppose some color samples. But now that the pool is in and the color is in full view, what do you think of the graphite gray color?
It's funny. The only thing about the graphite gray is the name isn't very fun. I was like, graphite gray? I want the pool to be blue and crystally and all that. And you explained that. We had already gone through so much education with you on types of pools and then the layout and all that we were a bit unsure about the recommendation. It is literally the first thing people comment on when they come here. The color, the water looks so inviting. So I love it.
Yeah, that's great. So this is the Leisure Pool Supreme model, as we call it. Okay, so the Supreme is a 16 by, I think this is 40 right?
Yep.
In your case. It has a lot of features and benefits, as we call it, right? It has dual steps to get into the pool and a lot of generous seating. What do you think of the seating arrangements and the stairs in terms of access and egress to the pool? How has that worked out for you and your family?
Yeah, well, we were unsure about the size because we knew we wanted to have people over. We have a child who's loves swimming, and we knew she'd make friends when we moved here and want to have a lot of people over. But we also didn't want to have to invest in a huge pool. We don't want to heat a huge pool with all the things that go with it. And so I think this is a great size. What we loved about this is that it feels bigger because the stairs and then the benches are all along the sides. So we can go in, and while it's only 40 feet, you can swim laps right down the center and without any stairs or anything. You know, the shallow end is deep enough for you to keep doing your laps and flip around.
Right.
So we love that. It's nice to be able to get out. You know, there's 4 corners where you can very easily get out of the pool. And we've got kids in here, in and out all the time, no worries.
Yeah.
And we love the benches. I mean, the fact that the benches are so elongated, I'll sit in the deep end and sip on a beverage in the sun and just enjoy watching what's going on in the pool.
Right, right. So oftentimes we get asked questions about fiberglass and the texture, right? Because fiberglass, like the walls, are very smooth.
Yeah.
But the seats and stairs and floor have a texture. How would you say that is underfoot? I mean, do you feel pretty stable as you get in and out of the pool? Is it slippery? What would you...
I almost feel like texture is a strong word. I mean, there is a texture, but it's not a sensory issue. It just feels like safety. It's almost like if you got into the shower and you knew you weren't going to slip, but it's not. You've gone to those pools where you get out and your feet are torn up afterwards. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
So it's funny. You said that there's a texture on the benches. I haven't really noticed that. I get it. I can kind of look over and see, but it's not anything that I think it's subtle. It's there to do the job, but not make you notice it.
Right, right. No, exactly. So another thing, and this is a big thing today, is the retractable powered safety cover. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think?
I love it. I did not want... I hate to say that I'm lazy, but I know myself. If I've only got, let's say I have an hour, I've got to get a kid to camp or do something. I'm not going to get in the pool if I only have an hour and I've got to take a cover off and I got to put it on. And I'm also not going to live here among all these pine trees and everything without the ability to cover the pool often. So I love to be able to stand over there, flip the switch, and the cover's on, it's off, 30 seconds. Yeah. It also, I don't know I don't actually know how it works, like solar-wise or whatever, but it really traps the heat in. So we invested in a really nice heater, which we use at the very beginning of the season and the very end of the season. Even when we have dips in temperature, the cover has just kept the heat of the pool in, which is really great. We're not spending money heating this pool.
Yeah. No, that's one of the great features and benefits of the auto cover. First being safety, obviously, right? If a child comes out into this area and the cover is closed, then obviously they can't drown. The energy efficiency and then obviously debris and stuff staying out of the pool is another benefit to that. So that's great. How about let's talk a little bit about the system itself, meaning the pump, the filter, the automation system. This is a variable speed pump, which is highly energy efficient. How would you say you've adapted to the equipment and the technology and some of the interworkings of that?
I mean, what's nice about it is I don't really have to know all that much. I have an app on my phone. Luke set it up for us in the beginning, so I've got the filters kind of set up to automatically come on. I think it's 12 hours a day and on the lowest setting. If I'm doing something, if it's particularly dirty because I had it open and there was a few weeks ago the pollen was really bad, I might kick up I could just tap a button and the filters go on a little bit more. It's really fun to turn the lights on at night.
Yeah.
There's some cool settings there. I love the saltwater aspect of it because I don't know much about pools other than friends that I knew that had pools as a kid were always having to do something to it. Mm-hmm. And I throw a few bags of salt in at the beginning of the season, look at the numbers on my app, add a little bit more, and then I don't really touch it until you guys come to shut it down. Yeah. So it's really great.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, Leisure Pools is the name of the manufacturer, but it's indicative of what we are trying to sell, right? We're trying to sell a product and equipment associated with it that makes your life leisurely, right? We're not hard time pools. It's Leisure Pools as the manufacturer, right? Installed by Pioneer Valley Fiberglass Pools. But as far as cleaning the pool and general maintenance, just overall, right? Now, I know you've never owned a pool, so maybe it's a little more tricky to compare. But how would you say maintaining the pool is and keeping it clean?
It's great. What I don't have to do is hire anyone to come out and clean the pool. I bought a nice little robot vacuum that I drop in most days, does its thing, and then pull it out when we're ready to swim, and then I'll use the little skimmer thing to catch a couple whatever's flown in
right.
onto the surface. But otherwise, the filters are doing their job. and it's after the opening. You know, it's needs a cleaning at the beginning of the season, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so I think one of the one of the last questions, and probably most important to me, is because pools, unlike many other things to me, change people's lifestyle, right? How is having an in-ground swimming pool from Pioneer Valley Fiberglass Pools impacted your overall life, quality of life, family life, and those sorts of things? Because life is short, and these things are really important. So can you just give me a little synopsis on that?
Yeah, it's funny. I think everybody's favorite question to ask around, you know, May or June is, what are your plans for the summer? You have any vacations? What are you doing? And we're like, we're not leaving. So we have a revolving door of friends and family that are coming to visit us, and we want to stay here all summer so that we can enjoy our pool. In fact, last summer we actually took a trip up to Maine. I recommend going away and having vacations, but we were up in Maine at a beach house that we just wanted to be home. We wanted to be in our pool, enjoying like the temperature control and all the ease. The salt water is just so great. And it, like I said, we have visitors come, and it's just a built-in something to do all the time.
Yeah.
And kids, my daughter sleeps so well when she swims. She's not a great sleeper, and when she swims, we often swim after dinner. You know,
Yep.
you got to wait a little while after eating.
Sure.
And she will sleep like a baby.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
No, that's great. Well, that's what we hope to do, is transform lives, and that's the great business that we're in. I often say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and I'm blessed to be.
You seem to work
that
a lot.
person. Yeah, well, I do,
But you do it with a smile.
I do it with a smile because I love to work. But I mean, having clients like you and all of the others that we've built pools for, because we've somewhere over 1,500 swimming pools that we've built now since we started in 2002, and having clients like you kind of are make the job worthwhile, right? It makes it fulfilling to know that the customer base is happy, they're enjoying life and stuff like that. So I wanted to just thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to share a few words with us, and I hope you have a great summer. You obviously know we're right around the corner if you need us. And Kelly, thank you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate what you do.
Yeah, thank you.